This presentation is produced, recorded, and edited by Eric Christopher Lind in Externship Class B. This presentation will go over arbitrage, my externship, which is based on arbitrage, and the history of the job. I hope you enjoy, and if you have any questions about my presentation, don't hesitate to ask afterwards. Okay, let's begin. So what is arbitrage? Basically, arbitrage is the simultaneous buying and selling of securities, currency, or commodities in different markets or in a derivative forms in order to take advantage of differing prices of the same asset. Basically, the philosophy is buying low and selling high. History introduction. Arbitrage originated in the early years of trading merchants. At least this is the only thing that we have recorded. It may have even originated earlier in caveman times, with smart cavemen trading items from tribe to tribe trying to make profit. Since we have no proof of this, we will focus on the time period which we do have records for, even if they are scarce. Ancient times. The most evidence of early arbitrage stems from the Middle East, which suggests that mercantile trade was extensive. He had many forms of risky arbitrage. Circa 1760 BC, the Code of Hammurabi had many written forms of exchanges, proving that trade existed during this time period. Sumerian cuneiform tablets also showed transactions, some of which showed margin. Cuneiform tablets. The tablets showing margin proves that arbitrage existed during this time period when we could see that merchants would buy 20 bushels of barley from one goat at one temple, and then sell 10 bushels of barley for a goat at another. This is arbitrage, and just happens differently, but the concept is still the same.
Other examples of arbitrage throughout history. Contrary to common belief, most European merchants wouldn't carry big chests full of gold to buy and sell. Merchants would instead buy items to avoid being robbed on long voyages. Stealing 50 paintings is much harder than stealing a chest full of gold, so merchants began using arbitrage to transport their items. Even if the cost to transport these more items increased, the margins of the items would offset the price. This is known as cash and carry arbitrage.
Educational requirements. So, there are no real requirements on this job, and all can be done without a college degree. However, if you really wish to become proficient, having a good math and finance background definitely would not hurt. The merchants I spoke of in historical times certainly didn't have a finance major to figure out this stuff because it really isn't that complicated. It just takes a lot of time and effort to get used to the system. Salary. There are many forms of arbitrage. Working for a big business or starting your own will give you vastly different results. Many even take up arbitrage as a mere hobby or a way to make some money on the side. However, Glassdoor.com estimates your salary to be around $60,000 a year. I would take this number with a grain of salt though, as much higher salaries could be earned elsewhere. What you need to get started. My externship boss started off buying and selling Legos, storing them in garage, and selling them back after a while. He has now moved on to a warehouse. This just shows the flexibility of the job, as there are no real requirements to begin, just upgrades you can make to make more profit, etc. There are no geographical specifications at all. However, living in a city where shipping prices are lower definitely is a big advantage. So, moving on to advantages. A big advantage of this job is you spend most of your day shopping. If someone who enjoys browsing online catalogs, stores, etc., you will love the act of arbitrage. You spend hours upon hours searching for a good deal to then sell again. So if you enjoy online shopping, like I said, check out arbitrage. The second advantage is you unbox a lot of stuff, which some people may find very enjoying. Disadvantages. A major disadvantage is your buyers. Scammers, people who charge back on their orders, and overall bad people sometimes purchase your items. They might break something, want a refund, and if you refuse, try to even sue you. Other people might replace an item with counterfeit and then keep the item you shipped. These people would cause you to lose money and can run your business out of business.
Local examples. The first is drug dealers. Believe it or not, everyday criminals partake in arbitrage every single time they buy drugs from one source and upcharge at another. Though this is the one act of arbitrage I would not recommend. Second is Amazon FBA merchants. If you've ever seen the right-hand side of Amazon, it will show the seller of an item. 95% of the time, these people are using arbitrage to make profit on Amazon. Thirdly, stockbrokers. All traders follow the same philosophy of buying low and selling high, therefore partaking in arbitrage, just not with real items but with stocks instead.
So the life. There is no real lifestyle that is set in stone. It may be one sitting in front of a computer buying items, or maybe in a warehouse shipping items that you bought from Walmart, or maybe even driving boxes of items from state to state. It isn't like being a doctor where you'll end up in either private practice or hospital. It's how you shape it yourself. So, how to prepare. This is the part of the slide where I'm supposed to tell you 3 different programs offered by specific colleges. However, I couldn't really find any. My only suggestions for you is to go in and practice. My boss didn't have any special training or education, and his business is flourishing. Just took him a while to get the system down, which is all you really need to prepare. So moving on to part 2 about where I work. So I work at Hyperion LLC, which is a small warehouse 30 minutes north of here. It didn't always exist in a warehouse, however, but started in JW's garage at first, but after many years, he was able to purchase a warehouse to have his business in. The warehouse is 2 stories and has an office section and an outside section, as pictured. So what do I do? My job is to do whatever really needs to be done. Most of the time, that means listing items and shipping them. Listing items means I receive boxes of items from FedEx and UPS that JW has purchased. I input them into the computer, put stickers over the barcodes, and then have them shipped to Amazon so people like you and me can buy them using Amazon Prime. However, sometimes my job includes finding items to buy or cleaning the office. The employees. There are 3 people who are a part of Hyperion LLC. JW Jones is the boss and does a lot of the behind the scenes work. He is very contactable from the warehouse if we have any questions though. Then there is Nate, who just started working there a month ago and is a full-time employee. Nate and I do the same type of job. He is there 9 to 5 every day, whereas I'm only there 3 days a week, 12:30 to 4:30.
The bigger picture. Hyperion LLC helps the community in many ways. First of all, my boss is ridiculously vegan and loves the earth so much that he won't purchase any items that are harmful to the environment and will degrade if left in the dirt. Then, he also helps the community by supplying items on Amazon for people like you and I to purchase. Without people like JW, prices in Amazons would be much higher as the monopoly of items would be much more common. 19. JW Jones graduated from the University of Florida with the finance degree. However, he claims that what he learned from UF didn't really help him to run the business he has today. If anything, just having a simple math degree or math background and being able to divide, add, subtract, and take percentages of items is all you really need to know how to do. Nate also currently goes to the SCF and has no credentials for the job, but is very hardworking and always gets the job done.
The end. I hope you learned a little about arbitrage and perhaps sparked your interest in getting into it. It is something that can be taken very seriously as your whole business, or maybe you just want to flip common items on the side. That is the beauty of arbitrage. The scale can be as heavy as you want it to be, and you can still make money. This concludes my presentation on about arbitrage. If you have any questions, like I said, please feel free to ask. Thank you.